Hello, people, and welcome back to another Law Corporate video. Now, I know I haven't been as active. I've been doing more shorts recently, but I wanted to make an actual video because it's been a while. So I thought I was just going to go over my Spotify situation. So this is my profile. If you don't follow me currently, you can go see. It's just Cal with a smiley face. That's true, 315 public playlists, and yeah. So I think I don't really have a plan. I'm just going to like kind of show you a glimpse and kind of talk about some of the artists. It's not going to be a super long video. I am making this at 1 in the morning. So I'm just going to talk about this. So I don't count comedians when it says top artist of the month because I think they're entirely different categories and stuff like that. So I'm just going to say, yeah, Jake, that one totally makes sense. Jake has been my favorite artist ever since June of last year, so about a year now, which is rare for me because typically with me, I go through phases, small phases, but I just haven't stopped listening to Jake's music. It's just infinitely beautiful to me. Billie Eilish I listened to a lot this month, but I had to kind of limit myself because I got like, really depressed after listening to it for too long. But like my favorite song to listen to is Blue and Come Out and Play. They're just so beautiful. And Come Out and Play feels slightly more happy. It feels like it was made for an Apple iMac commercial. But yeah, so then we have Forrest Frank, who's just one of the best Christian music artists, certainly the best modern one. And his new album, Child of God 2, is just amazing. I've listened to all of the songs, and even though I haven't like actually liked each individual one, they're all very good. Especially, even the last album that he did, Child of God. There's one of them that really just I wish I could have seen in concert. Lift My Hands. At the very end, it switches entirely, and I just feel the Holy Spirit just right there. And it's just amazing. It gives me goosebumps every time. After that, we have Caamp, and if you know me personally, you know I love Caamp, and I will not stop talking about them. Caamp are these five guys. It used to be just Taylor Meyer and his friend. I don't remember his name. I apologize. But yeah, they released their debut album, which was just called Caamp, with two A's. So that's something that kind of makes me unique. I believe Taylor Meyer said he had it two A's because it was two guys at the start. I could be wrong though. And what got me into them was actually Evergreen, which you mentioned, the coal miners, featuring Caamp. And actually, I had a talent show for my youth group a while ago, and that was the first song. That was the song we opened with. That's why I sang and played. I'm not going to show that here. I might play it in a different video, but overall, like I love this album. I love Misty and Common Man and 26. They're so good. Their By and By album was also really good. Really, all of their music is amazing. And Lavender Days is just one of my favorite albums, like in general of all time. Evergreen's awesome. Let Things Go was great. Somewhere the EP was actually very good. Caamp, I love you. Okay, Taylor Meyer, if you're watching this, you're amazing. But I personally did not like Drive. It just felt very different from what Caamp has been doing. And their feel. I did love Fairview Feeling though, and Mistakes was also very good. I'm excited because at this point it'll be 2 days and something out, 22 hours until Copper Changes Color finally releases. So I'm just hoping that I'm sure they will. They've already redeemed themselves with Fairview Feeling and Mistakes, but I'm just hoping that Copper Changes Color just turns out being so much better than my opinion of Drive. And again, that's just my opinion. I'm a super fan of Caamp. I'm hoping to go to their concert. I'm not like a crazy person. I'm relatively chill, but I love Caamp so much. Bon Iver. I've heard people say Bon Iver, and it just doesn't sit well. I'm pretty sure it's Bon Iver. I had to look it up because so many people pronounced it differently. But yeah, Bon Iver. I also have liked him since around August, September, which were some really hard months for me, especially September. September was very, very difficult for me. Probably the hardest month of my entire life. And I listened to Bon Iver so much, especially Holocene and Roslyn. Those two were I played those over and over and over and over and over. I don't like his newer stuff as much. It feels a little more country than his older acoustic folky stuff. And he doesn't really have his falsetto voice, which made him kind of iconic anymore. Which is, he can go in the direction he wants to. He's his own person. His music, and my take of it is different than what he is making it for. Like I love the falsetto. I love the feel of it because it feels serene and peaceful. I think maybe his view will be the same, but he likes different things about what he makes, and so he keeps those things when he makes new music. But maybe the new music is different than what I liked from his music, if that makes sense. Vacations is another great band. Campbell Burns is also awesome. Telephones is just such a good song. Like I don't. It's just so good. All of them, they're all great. I believe they're an Aussie band. I really don't have any words, but I wouldn't even classify them as a boy band. But if they are, then they're the one boy band I can tolerate. Uh, and yeah, even though I only listen to like 13 of their songs, and that's with some of them doing a live covers with Audio Tree. Even though that's all I listen to, I still would say that they're one of my top favorite bands. They're very good. Again, I'm not gonna include Jim Gaffigan or John Mulaney, but they are freaking hilarious. If you need a laugh, they're not child appropriate, but if you need a laugh, go listen to them. If you need one that's clean, go to Brian Regan. Toby Mac, another one of the best Christian music artists out there. He's been around since the 90s with DC Talk, and I saw him in concert one time during his Hits Deep tour, I believe, of 2022. I could be wrong about that one, but it could be 2021. But he was great. He came to see Kent, Washington, and it was great. I do listen to all of these, what is it, 90 songs, all of them. They're all great. So yeah, I don't really have much to say there. Claire Rosencrantz. Okay, so Claire Rosencrantz is a bit different for me. I love her music so much, and she just has this poppy, feel good music, and just kind of like what's the word? Kind of like a teenage rock type, like pop rock, if you know what I mean. Next, we have Gregory Alan Isakov, with a special place in my heart, who makes probably the best folk music in my opinion, probably of any artist other than old Caamp. And I hopefully am going to see him in concert sometime. But yeah. So I mean, he was born in, I mean, you read the description or his bio. He was born in South Africa and now lives in Colorado, which is very interesting to me because I've always thought South Africa is really cool. And at the same time, I was born in Colorado and raised there for 11 years. So I saw in his video on YouTube of Big Black Car, it's like a different version, which is so unique to see how it's changed. But when I saw that, it was it's that he said he was like recording from Gregory's home in Boulder, Colorado, and I was like, I know where that is. Yeah, so he's amazing. I don't think his quality has actually changed at all. In fact, I think Appaloosa Bones was an amazing album. Along with I believe his first album, his debut album, This Empty Northern Hemisphere. So it was great. He makes great music. Eminem, I only listen to a couple of music just because the beat's good. I don't really agree with the lyrics, but I mean, that's totally cool if you do. Keely, at least, not a lot of people know her music as much as her YouTube. I think she has a couple million followers or subscribers on YouTube. She doesn't have a ton of monthly listeners, but she has enough to have an okay traction on here. But I mean, all of her music is really good, and I especially love her Friend I Once Knew. It just really resonates with me and my experience with friendships and family members and all that. Crowder, again, no words other than just awesome. He's so unique in every album, and again, there's only one song of his that I didn't really care for, and that was Great Rubber. Other than that, great music. Ray LaMontagne, I promise I'll finish after just a couple others, and then I'll move on to some of the playlists I have. Ray LaMontagne, what to say about Ray? Other than genius, and the fact that this whole album, as well as Ouroboros, is just so good. I can't. I mean, seriously, all of these artists that I listen to, I hope that you can go listen to. But I'm gonna skip Ava Brothers. They're great. Go listen to them. Lave is another one of those teenage kind of guilty pleasure music, if that makes sense. Led Zeppelin, also amazing. They're just so skilled, especially the bassist and the drummer, John Bonham. Actually, also, when I went to see Billy Joel in concert, I got to John Bonham's son, Jason Bonham, I believe is the name, opened up for Billy Joel, and I thought that was awesome. It felt like kind of a piece of history right there. Coldplay, I mean, who doesn't like Coldplay, really? And what white person doesn't know Coldplay? I believe those were the words of Corey Kenshin. And then Chance Pena, who's also great, but actually, I found that everyone I've showed his music to doesn't actually like his vibrato, which is fair, but I like it. So, Joe, the only reason it's come up, okay, I love End of Beginning, and I believe Roddy as well. The only reason it's come up this much is because I've been around my cousin a lot, who really loves his music, and I've been like quizzing him, like, can you guess what this is? He's probably watching this video, or not, because he probably doesn't care. Arctic Monkeys, also great. I love Fluorescent Adolescent, Are You Mine, and Do I Want to Know? Yeah. And then I'm going to stop. I'm going to highlight a few others, okay? We got Rhys Duursma, and he also has a very small following, 191 monthly listeners, but it's so good. His music is just amazing. I don't really like his band, what is it called, Lowline, but his solo stuff is just awesome. Charlie is just a beautiful, beautiful song, and I highly encourage you to listen to him. Get him some popularity. He deserves it. The Beatles, there's nothing I can say there other than just pure genius. Hollow Coves, that whole album, Wanderlust, is just it's an EP. I think it's an EP because it only has 6 songs, but the whole thing is it's so good. It's not a wasted 20 minutes. I guarantee you'll love it if you go listen to it. And if not, then come on, man. MA kind of fell off, to be honest. Liked her older stuff, and then everything kind of went downhill after. Which came first, Sunny D or what's that other one? She fell off after. I'm trying to think. After All These Kids, she just went downhill. Phineas. It has such a unique voice that I just repeat, Break My Heart Again, and For Crying Out Loud over and over again because it's like the ASMR of my ears. I guess that's the point, is that ASMR is supposed to be like a substitution for music. We're adding on to it, but it doesn't work for me. In fact, it does the opposite, and it makes me publicly hate it, and I hope that I'm known for that. I'm going to highlight just a few others here. Lizzie McAlpine, awesome artist, brilliant writer. She wrote Spring into Summer before her show, right before her show, which is just awesome. She wrote an entire song. Rush is another one of those bands where it's just like you can't not talk about the genius, especially Rush, Jimi Hendrix, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. You can't. I mean, they're just all geniuses, and they're all very proficient in what they do. Or for 3 of them did. Neil Peart died, I believe, 2020 from cancer. Jimi Hendrix died 1960 something, and Stevie Ray Vaughan died. I have no clue when, but he died from a helicopter crash. But yeah, for King of Country, I saw them live as well, and they blew my mind because I'd seen a couple other people in concert, and even after them, I went and saw the Winter Jam for 2025, and I just still can't get over how amazing they were comparatively. Like they came out, and everyone was shocked how they came out because it was amazing, but I don't know. It was just so amazing. Their voices, they increased, which is something you don't normally see at concerts, or at least for me, in my experience. I didn't really see like increase in quality with other artists. Given I did see Billy Joel, which I mean he's older, so it's going to be a little worse than Glass Houses when he recorded it. But given nowadays where everything is like to the nth degree cut and remixed and auto tuned and everything, it was so surprising to see like, oh my gosh, their tone and their sound was so organic and amazing and bold. And actually, the recording on Spotify doesn't capture it as well as the concert did, which I'm sure is the goal of concerts. And maybe we just lost that in modern day. Maybe it's just my experience. Radiohead also great, Cass Elliot also great, and I think that's all I have to say for everyone else other than Jimmy Clifton. This is probably the best Christian folk artist out there. And yeah, so those are the top artists for me this month. I just felt like I needed to do that, and yeah, check out my playlist. You can kind of get to know me a little more because my biggest thing is music, and I probably spend around 6 to 7 hours a day just listening to music. So yeah, I have a public favorite songs playlist where basically what I do is I take the liked songs I have, and I just as soon as I click like, I add it to this playlist so you can see all the songs that I've liked. Just because I like to share that, I guess. And then yeah, there's a bunch of stuffs, and I highly recommend you check them out because they are all great. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. I doubt anyone's still here after 20 minutes, but if you somehow are, thank you so much. And let me know if any of these artists are your favorites, or let me know your favorite songs by any of them. I don't know. Because I'm a small channel, you can kind of do a lot more and talk to me, kind of, and I respond. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little segment, and I'll get back to some other videos. I am actively, not passively, but actively working on making Spotify music. I found out a problem in my editor, meaning that I can't really use it as well. So I've been using Audacity for the time being, just trying to kind of fix things a little bit. It's been difficult because there are some cons with Audacity, like sound quality and all that. But I promise I'll get back to. It'll be up soon, and I'm off for summer finally, so you're gonna see a lot more content pumping hopefully after we move. So that's right, we're moving again. You've seen, I guess now this will be the fourth location that you've seen coming up because you saw my first house or my I've moved 7 times now, so in 7 different houses. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Jesus loves you, and we love you too. If you ever need any help, he's there for you, and God bless you and keep you, and walk her out.